warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What does YM mean to me? Well, when I first moved here, I was a freshman in high school, and I was intimidated by the bigger masjid because the places where I come from, everywhere I've been, the masjid are way smaller, right? They're maximum 5 rooms, and all the activities happen within those 5 rooms, right? And that makes it welcoming and easy for newer people to join the community. And I wasn't expecting that much from bigger masjid like ICI, Epic, and INT, and Valorant as well, just bigger masjid in general. So I was intimidated, right? I walked in there and I saw this grand hall with a chandelier, and I was confused as to how I, as a smaller person, was supposed to make friends and meet new people, right? And it just so happened that all this took place on Friday, right? So I went to Juma, and then I just sat at the masjid just wondering what I was going to do. And I saw people start trickling in. There were guys my age. I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. And then they came together in a group and they started running activities. So I was encapsulated, I was intrigued, and I decided to go in and ask them, hey, what are you guys doing? And they just kind of welcomed me in that fold. And ever since then, for 6-7 years ago, I've been a part of YM. So to summarize, YM essentially takes a big, intimidating setting and makes it more relatable, right? It makes it more welcoming because you're surrounded by people your age, you're surrounded by people that share your mindset, you're surrounded by people that have goals and aspirations that are relatable to you. And when I push YM, when I participate in YM activities, I want to share that feeling that was once shared with me.
Assalamu alaikum. I've been going to YM for a bit over a year now, and one thing that I can confidently say is that I really do not think that the level of deen that I currently possess would be at that same level if it wasn't for me going to NeighborNet all that time, alhamdulillah. And I feel like NeighborNet has kind of become like a necessity in my life now, to the point where it's not just a want, it's become like a cornerstone, to the point where whenever I don't go and I don't attend for whatever reason, I always feel empty and isolated, and I feel like there's kind of like a hole in my heart. And one big reason for that is the environment that you'll find there. Growing up, I attended different public schools, and most of the schools that I went to didn't really have much Muslims, but even regardless of that, we all know like the environment that you'll find there. It really isn't the best, unfortunately. And I remember trying to fit in order to just try to fit in, it feel like that I have to compromise some elements of my deen. And that would make me feel very kind of uncomfortable and disgusted. So whenever I finally attended, my first NeighborNet, I really noticed that all the guys there had very similar experiences to what I felt and went through the same struggles. And kind of we talked about things that we could relate to finally, which I've never really had before. And that's kind of what I felt like made us bond like so quickly, kind of made everybody click together. Because whenever you go there, you find stuff and you find people that you can relate to, that you have the same goals as, that you can actually kind of have a friendship for the sake of Allah and take that to the day you die. And that's what makes YM special, is because now in college and with work, everything, it's so easy to get caught up in life, whether it's like any aspect of it, whether it's work, college, whatever it may be. But going to NeighborNet every Friday, hearing that halaqah, getting that good reminder, and having those same people that you see every week, going out to eat with them and discussing about what's going on in their life, the problems that you're facing in your life, it really shifts your viewpoint back to where it should be and what you should be focusing on, which is the deen. So alhamdulillah, YM has really been a cornerstone of my life, and I intend to keep it that way, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
The way that YM has impacted me, and I know I speak on behalf of a lot of people when I say that it truly can't be put into words, but I think the most important part about YM is the brotherhood aspect of it, right? And I know it seems like a cliche topic to talk about, brotherhood and all that, but all the YM guys know that the brotherhood that you experience at YM is truly unparalleled, right? And that truly hit me when I remember I missed a couple NeighborNets, and I had guys calling and texting and asking how I was doing, asking if I needed anything, and checking in on me. And I remember that's when it truly hit me that this is what brotherhood is truly about, right? And and the unique thing about YM is that that's just one part about it, right? Because you know, when you attend the halaqat, the qiyam, the all-nighters, you know, the retreat, you go to the SR events, you know, you meet all these brothers from all over, you know, from different communities, and then you realize that, you know, you're truly not alone, you know. And for me, you know, being a Muslim is, you know, is a lot of times it's a strange thing, right? It's not an easy thing, right? But being part of YM, what it does, it exposes you to a group of people, a group of brothers that, you know, are dealing with the same things that you are dealing with, right? And then, you know, you have guys that, you know, that are praying the night prayers, and you have guys that are you know, just trying to pray the 5 prayers, right? But the beauty of YM is that at the end of the day, you're all just working together to, you know, be better than yesterday, right? You're working together to better yourselves and learn from each other, right? And I know for a fact that I've asked and I've learned, and I've taken advice from others, you know, other guys at YM, you know, on a lot of stuff, right? And it's not, and a lot of it is not just religious stuff. A lot of it is like, you know, a lot of it is school related stuff or just life stuff, right? I remember I talked to a YM guy about, you know, an exam and a course that was coming up because he had taken it before, right? And that's the beauty of YM. It exposes you to a group of people, and then it builds a brotherhood that, you know, that lasts a lifetime, and it lasts far beyond, you know, just a neighbor net, right? It goes far beyond that, and that's truly, you know, helped me and impacted me the most. And I truly believe that had it not been for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I thank Allah for that, and yeah.
Grateful for YM because it has established a community in my area. It has given me brothers that I can rely on, that I can go on their shoulders and cry on, so that I can laugh to them, to gain from them, to seek knowledge from them, and when times of need, I can call them. That is what YM is, and that is what YM will be with your support. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.
My name is Umar Ahmed. I joined Young Muslims YM in spring of 2020 when it was the pandemic and it was my junior year of high school. I remember Farhan reached out to me in March or April of 2020 and told me a little bit about what YM was and told me, inshallah, join YM Frisco. Here's our Zoom link for our upcoming Neighbor Nets Saturday. And so I joined, and I'm glad I stuck through those months that we were virtual, because when we returned in person, I got to know the brothers more, I got to partake in the activities, and I got to learn what YM had to offer. And when we went to the sub-regional events, starting in 2021, I got to meet brothers from all different neighbor nets, and that's when I really truly found my friends that I'm close to today. Some of my Richardson friends that I have been there for me for more times than I can count. Basit, Faiz, Sohaib the trio, and of course Bilal. I literally learned what brotherhood was and how to be a good brother because of YM. Of course, that term I had heard before, but YM taught me that brotherhood means you're there for your brother through the thick, through the thin. Doesn't matter if they're going through a good time or a bad time. You should be there for your brother. It taught me what it truly means to be a good friend. During a time when I wasn't mentally in the best place, junior year in 2020, and when I really just needed a fresh start in short terms, YM was there, and YM provided that fresh start. It gave me a sense of belonging, and I've always noticed from the start that we've always been so inclusive of all of our brothers, and especially of the new guys. And now I try to pay it forward to the new guys that join and try to be inclusive and, you know, guide them the way I was guided when I joined YM. I think that as we reflect over this new year, let's reflect on how YM has impacted us so greatly, where we started and where we are now. I can say that the biggest testament actually recently to brotherhood was today. This is my birthday, December 29th, and I got a lot of messages from my close friends in YM, but also in the YM Dallas chat as well. A beautiful dua from some people, and most notably Talha. Talha and I aren't too close, but Talha has always been such a caring and just thoughtful person for the years I've been in YM. And he literally sent me a Zelle transfer and said, go enjoy your birthday, go get yourself a treat. I was not expecting that, and it just made me feel so special, you know? Those little things that make you feel so special, that make you feel that you belong and like you are worth it, that's what I feel like YM has offered me. And that's why I feel like it's kind of uplifted me and made me a more confident person, YM. But most importantly, if I have to say two things that I would take away from this, YM has made me a mentally tougher person, an emotionally stronger person, and it has made me a spiritually more enlightened person. And I've gotten more involved with my masjid, with my deen. And so I encourage you all, while we reflect over this year, let us remember how YM has made such great impacts in our life, and where we were when we joined YM and where we are now. I pray to Allah that we continue to benefit from YM, that we continue to benefit from this amazing brotherhood we have built in YM, and that the next year is full of even more greatness, more litness, great events, great subha, and great spiritual enlightenment through young Muslims.